All right, what's up? Another week has passed, and it is time to crack a beer and do another edition of the FAQ, FAQ, or FAQ. So this is where I answer and respond to some comments that I get on my YouTube channel, and this is the number 2 edition. So let's get right down into it. First comment by Mehdi El Nasawi, and this is a comment on my arrangement of Paco de Lucia's Entre Dos Aguas for solo guitar. He says, or he or she says, probably the best version besides Paco's. And well, thank you very much. You know, just yesterday marked the 5-year anniversary of Paco's death. And I mean, no one did more for the flamenco guitar than him. He was absolute genius, and probably technically the best guitar player that has ever lived, or probably will ever live. I wouldn't say that my version is even close to Paco's. It's much slower. But the one interesting thing I did is I created an arrangement of that famous song, Entre Dos Aguas, but for solo guitar. So I tried to play all the bass lines and all the melodies and chords kind of all at the same time, and that was not easy. To my knowledge, he didn't even do that. I'm sure he could have, though, if he wanted to. The guy was just amazing. Okay, well, thank you, Mehdi. For the next one, Mir Wurscht says, I have a question. Should I rather sell drugs or my body to be able to afford one of your guitars? Cry emoji. The Flametal 2 looks awesome, but at the moment I don't have enough spare money. Is the Flametal line going to be limited? Well, it's not going to be that much money. I mean, just save up, buddy. It's not that bad. They're under $1,000. They're both under $900. They're not going to be limited like the first Ben Wood Signanture model that was limited to 66. Now we have the BWSM number 2, and I don't think that's going to be limited at all. That's made in Spain. These two Flametals, the Flametal 1 and the Flametal 2, I believe are not going to be limited either. They're going to keep making them as long as people keep buying them. So they're going to be on GuitarCenter.com and Musician's Friend soon. I would say springtime. So let's go to the next one. Thanks for your comment, Mir. This is by Kylie Stroller. Hey Ben, I've noticed sometimes you hold your thumb and pointer together to mimic a pick instead of using picado. How do you decide when to use one or the other? All right, well, what he's talking about is he's talking about this technique that I call Alternail. Now, I didn't make it up. I just made up the word for it. But basically, it's instead of picado, I just use my index nail like a pick. So if I were to have picado, a little bit slower. When do I use it? I use it when I know I have a really quick run coming up and I don't want to stress out about it. Most of the runs I could do with picado, and after I've warmed up, I have a pretty quick picado, but there's something about using Alternail that when I know it's coming up, I don't stress out about it because it completely frees me up with no speed limitations. I don't hit a speed wall, and it sounds almost the same, but ergonomically it's a lot easier for my hand and a lot less uncomfortable, and yeah, I can go a lot faster. So I first started using that, my friend Luis Villegas was using it, and we are in this group, Heavy Mellow. We would always have guitar duels, and man, he would always fucking win.
That bastard!
I love him to death, and last year I just couldn't stand it anymore. So I figured out a way to do what he was doing, and it takes a little practice, of course, as with anything. and but it's a lot more fun and it's a lot more comfortable for me. So I've started sort of changing all my picado runs into Alternail if I can, and I'm learning how to add bass notes as I do it. So I see really no limitations, and I think it's going to be something that flamenco guitarists are going to start using in the future. So thank you, Kylie Stroller, for that comment. Let's go to the next one by Knees Fake News. How long must I practice per day? That's totally up to you. How good do you want to get? How quickly? For me, there was a time where I had to quit my job because I just wasn't getting good enough quick enough. So I quit my job, lived off a tiny little bit of money I saved, and I practiced 8 to 10 hours a day. And then when I ran out of money, got a part-time job, tried to save a little bit. A few months later, quit again so I could practice full-time. I really took the practicing as a full-time job, or even more. And I did develop my skills a lot quicker than, say, if I were to just pick up the guitar for half an hour a day. There's nothing wrong with that, and that's totally fine, but I really wanted to get quicker, better. So it's not the years that you put in, it's really the hours, how many hours you're going to put in, and that's going to determine how good you get, how quick. What the fuck?
Very much. I don't know how to, maybe this elixir will help.
One day I'm going to learn how to form sentences. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Anderola says, what's the difference between the Flametal 1 and the Flametal 2 guitar? Well, I just so happen to have them right here, right next to me. And I'll tell you, this is the Flametal 1, okay? We got cedar top, walnut back and sides. It's a reversed headstock, fuck yeah. We've got this really cool forearm cut that is really ergonomic and comfortable. It's a little bit thinner than most guitars, and as you can see, I have my own graphics that I drew laser engraved into it. No sound hole at all. We've got custom electronics, we've got 1/4 inch out, XLR out. There's a bunch of other great stuff about this. So that's the Flametal 1. And what about the Flametal 2? Well, really the only difference is the Flametal 2 has a sound hole. Okay? And also the truss rod access is in the sound hole, where the Flametal 1, it's up here above the nut. But they're both built pretty much exactly the same, and I love them. So let's go on to the next one. The last one. This is a fun one. Okay. Somebody responded, Mr. The What the Fuck 12 responded to my last FAQ thing. Because I had this, I said something like, I'll answer your amazingly rude comments and your great ones. And when I said rude, I put a little picture of Donald Trump and looking ugly like he does. And this guy apparently likes him a lot. And well, he just went off on me. Says, Ben Woods, apparently you're a better guitarist than a common sense thinker. Or sentence maker. Let's see, blah, 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 compelled to comment on your boring politics, blah, blah, blah. You started it because you put it in there, blah, 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 make America great again. I'm sure you can't comprehend the low unemployment, and it just goes on and on. And then he says in all capitals, so go choke on your disrespect for our president. I'll go elsewhere, unsubscribe, which, you know, makes me cry, boo-hoo, sorry to see you go. Be gone, motherfucker. And by the way, you seem a little unhinged in the video. Get help. All right, well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever, dude. I don't want to make nothing about politics, and please don't make any comments below about politics or Trump or anything. I really don't care, okay? So that's that. And you know what? I think that this has been a pretty damn good FAQ 2 session.
Thanks again for watching. Crack a beer with me. Favorite brand, 805. I'll see you guys in a week.
Subscribe.